Hello, everyone in the Tacticus Grimdark. Nagroth here again. I am here to talk about some rumors that I've been hearing in the official Discord. First off, I would like to thank my two friends who have used my friend code Shrekster and No Soy Hirge. Thank you for that. That does help me a great deal along the way. I appreciate that. Anybody who has the ability to, if you haven't used your friend code yet, use mine, and we'll each get ourselves 100 Blackstone. But, so, back to the rumors. I will give you a disclaimer on this one. They do not have proof that this is happening. It has been said by multiple people on the official Discord, but according to some data miners, Season 97 should have Mythic 2 Rogel Dorn and Mythic 1 Riptide. Well, that means that Adamantine 2 has to come out right about that time, either slightly before or slightly after that Mythic 2 boss comes out. My best guess on this would be the next major update that comes out later this month. You know, it's kind of well planned. You know, data miners pointing this out. Hey, the data's there. And new update coming out. Mythic 2 bosses. Hey, Adamantine 2. Now, why do I believe this? Mainly because multiple people have said it. And let's look at Snowprint's track record on this. So, their previous track record on releases. Gold 1 to Diamond 1 had a 5-month period. Diamond 1 to Diamond 2 had a 7-month period. Diamond 2 to Diamond 3 had a 6-month period. And then there was a large hiatus between Diamond 3 and Adamantine 1 year, 5 months approximately. Well, because they didn't have Adamantine planned out yet. They didn't have Mythic planned out yet. It took them quite a while to do that. Notice the amount of times in between those releases, besides Adamantine 1. In the last year and 5 months before Adamantine came out, they were using that time to design that system, I'm sure. And I'm sure that they designed a great deal of it. You know, they didn't just go, oh, we got Adamantine 1 done, let's work on 2 and 1 after. Really, no. They have a lot of 1, 2, and 3 already on the books. So it's only more just tweaking and implementing. And that's why I think this has some real teeth to this rumor. Adamantine progression is going on 7 months now, which is right around the amount of time I said between all those other releases. What does this mean for the rest of us? So, well, this means that mid to end game progression, you know, most of us that are at the end game where we're playing in high ranked guild rating guilds, mid ranked guilds, you know, 500 or higher, maybe even a little lower than that. They were just completing Mythic 1, M1, and, you know, they might have been looping back around once or looping back around for a few legendaries. They're going to get set back. So now you got a Mythic 2 boss. It's going to take so many tokens on that Mythic 2 boss that you're never going to get a second rotation. And mid-game guilds are going to get hit hardest with this one. Beginner guilds, you know, not making it to mythic level aren't really going to feel a crunch from this. So for mid-gaming guilds, what do you do to kind of combat this? And my suggestion, so do you build tall or do you build wide? I've always been a proponent of tall. Even at the mid-game level, you know, it's not going to be useful to you to have all like 3, 4 meta teams at Diamond 1 and then get to a Mythic 2 boss. You are going to get hammered. You're going to do 25 to 50k damage, and it's going to take, 120 tokens to get through the boss or more. So, like, if you can stagger in your guild, okay, why don't you guys build this? Why don't you guys build Admech to Adamantine 2? Why don't you guys build the Leviscus team to Adamantine 2? Do you guys can build battle suits, or you guys can build multi-hit? I would definitely go for the teams that are, meta right now, but get them to Mythic 2, and each person can focus one. And you can have a group of people focusing each one. Because if you make a mistake and everybody's building AdMech and nobody knows that, now you're going to have 28 AdMech teams and a bunch of mythic bosses that you can't beat. So that's my suggestion. Whether it'll work or not, or how easy it'll be to implement. Endgame guilds. And that's, I fall into that category. I've been playing since a month after release. We're also going to get hit. I'm in Grey Knights. We hit around the top 12, top 10 in guild raids. And, it's going to slow us down too. Mythic 2 is going to suck out the amount of tokens that half a rotation would be for us. That's less rewards. That's going to slow down progression for us. The top ranked guilds, and by top, I mean like top 3, top 5, specifically the top 2. They are doing so many rotations as it is. It will slow them down, 100%. They're also going to build up the fastest. They're getting a great deal of rewards, more than the rest of us. Their teams will be built faster. And, some of them do spend a little more money than the rest of us, so they will build faster. And they'll just, it'll be a speed bump. They'll start, they'll go from their, 8 rotations a season to 6, or 9 rotations a season to 7. And then as they build their Adamantine 2 characters, they'll go right back to where their rotations were. Those of us that are a little lower than that, it's going to take a little more time, but it'll be a bigger bump for us. But, that's the other issue is, do you build tall or wide? For endgame guilds, I would still say tall, just because, you'll be able to build the teams faster because you're getting the books a little quicker from Guild Raid. You're getting, well, you don't really get badges from Guild Raid too much, but, you can get lots of the things you need from that. That'll help you build quicker. It'll kind of be the same issues that we had when M1 came out. Like, it slowed everybody down, and then we kind of smoothed it out. Everybody started building their teams. It took a while. The problem is we're all getting less rewards due to being stuck on harder bosses at a time when the rewards are needed even more, because level 55 to level 60 is harder to achieve than 50 to 55. I just did some estimated math, because we don't know the exact amounts that the experience will be. 38 to 40 mythic XP tomes from level 55 to 60, and that's just a very general math that I did based on the trends of how much experience they make each level take. That's a lot of a tome that is not easy to get. Those mythic EXP tomes. Which one are we looking at here? The Grimoire of War. I have 3 right now, and I have not been farming them very well. We get some events every once in a while, survival and things like that. That helps, but those aren't all the time. And you can get them from Guild Raid, the shop, but, there's lots of things we got to be buying from there. I'm buying orbs all the time. So, it's just, it is what it is. we're going to be stuck farming those things. Now, the real bottlenecks for all of this, my Revis here is not even to Adamantine 1 yet because I have not built the battlesuit team because I am busy building other teams. Mythic tomes, number 1, upgrade items, and by that I mean mythic upgrade items, like these guys right here, ancient inscriptions, things along that line. Mythic forge badges for your machines of war, and ability badges. Mythic ability badges are a big one. I have 37 of these, and that's just because I've been banking them in preparation for the battlesuit team. I'm not even close to building the battlesuit team. So all of those things are going to bottleneck us, right? What does this mean for us in the future? We've had some huge recent meta changes, Leviscus team, Battlesuits team, the Neurothrope team with Zakar, adding a couple characters to that. We're still catching up from that. Unless you spend thousands of dollars a month on this game, most of us are catching up from that. And what does that mean? Like, we're slowed down by meta changes. Now Adamantine 2 is going to come out before most of us could have even caught up with those meta changes. I play a lot and I do spend some money on this game, and I don't have all my Adamantine 1 teams built, meta teams. I only have 2 basically, and they're not even fully built, they're just mostly built. And then Mythic 2, Adamantine 2 is going to come out, and I guess I could just, build tall, so I guess I'll build those 2 as quickly as possible. So my battlesuit team, sayonara, guys. I'll build you after Mythic 3's been out for 6 months, I guess. So we'll just have to see. I guess the one thing I could say is I hope that this rumor is wrong. From everything that I've listed here, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a rumor. But if it isn't, I hope that Snowprint reconsiders taking more time on this. I'd say a minimum of 2 months. Minimum of 2 months. Ideally 6 more months. Longer than that would be even better. But 6 months would be a good point to let people catch up. Let us get our Mythic Adamantine 1 team sorted out, and then even be able to save a little bit because we know Mythic 2's, Adamantine 2's coming out, to where when Adamantine 2 drops, if it drops right now, you saw how my books look. I guess I got a decent amount of these, the codex, but there are approximately 5 codex per grimoire. So I believe I have almost 11 grimoires worth of codexes here. These mean nothing at the higher levels. The tome. This, I could burn this whole thing and it would be like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 of the codexes. So I haven't been able to save, and if this comes out 2.5 weeks from now, I'm just going to be left with my pants in my hand because I am going to have no way to build Adamantine 2 characters. So I just hope that I'm wrong. I hope that Snowprint reconsiders this. A lot of people are going to be bottlenecked, are going to be stuck, and nobody wants that. We want to have a fun time playing this game. I don't want to see all these characters that I've just put a lot of time into immediately be not strong enough. So we'll see. Let's hope that they're listening. Most of the content creators have not said anything about this because most of them are on a non-disclosure agreement, and they may even know when it's coming out, and they can't say because snowprint says you can't tell them. Hey, by the way, this is coming, but you can't tell them. I'm a small creator, and I'm going to tell it like it is. And I'm seeing these rumors, and there's some credibility to them on many levels. So do not be surprised if in the next 2 to 3 weeks we are starting to see if there's even an announcement in the next week or so. Oh, by the way, guess what's happening, guys? So let's see how it goes. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's just a rumor and I'm an alarmist, but let's see how it goes. I would love at least a couple more months to. This battlesuit team would be nice to start building. My Revis is pretty much the only thing that's built. So, all right. You guys have a good one, and I'll hopefully talk with you again soon.